your boy. Welcome back to the Not Holding Back. All right, so we going with Infernal Omni. Shouts to Omni, he's a good YouTuber. Shouts to the gang, right? So we're talking about Mr. Beast and Dogpack 404. Mr. Beast is suing niggas. Let's get it. This is right. Let's go. Here we go.
So guys, Dogpack 404 has officially dropped the third video, but it's not quite what you might be expecting. In case you guys don't know what's happening,
I wonder what it is.
here's the quick TLDR. Mr. Beast is currently under fire by like the entirety of the internet, okay? His entire character, his company, and everything is being scrutinized and combed with a fine-tooth comb. This YouTuber by the name of Dogpack 404 has been dropping these documentary-type video pieces, exposing Mr. Beast in a myriad of ways. However, this third video titled Mr. Beast's Secret CEO seems to be more like a Kingdom Hearts 2.5 situation here. It's not the official third video. It sounds like he's holding on to some ammunition and waiting for Jimmy to respond. But the information that is in this video is still pretty incriminating and pretty damning. And in case you guys haven't seen it, I'll give you a quick TLDR. But you should watch the video, itself and its source material so you can get all the information. The video starts with Dogpack basically saying that this isn't the official third video, as I said before, and that he's still sitting on a lot of incriminating information when it comes to Mr. Beast. The video goes into detail about two specific...
I'm gonna be real here. I don't think Dogpack got no info. I think bro is he's fucking lying. I think this nigga, the last videos that he was like, oh, Mr. Beast got a known pedophile in his group, found out it was Jake the Vikings fucking brother-in-law, right? Delaware, because Delaware was lied on by this girl who was 16, talk about his brother-in-law fucked around on this girl when she was 11, but girl lied. So Delaware came out and sat down with Jimmy and his mom and told him the situation before Jimmy hired him, and Delaware still got the job, and they believed him. Like, all right, cool, if girl was lying on you, we believe you on that shit. But then Jake the Viking should have came out and said, well, Jimmy knew about all the other shit happening, but then didn't come to say, also my brother who was like wrongly convicted for some shit, and he took a plea deal, came out and he worked with us. That's Delaware. That's my brother. That's my brother-in-law. So like, nigga, Dogpack out here capping. He capping hard, bro. And the whole like, oh, Delaware is named Delaware because he can't go back from it. It's like, no, he's named Delaware because he's from Delaware, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that shit is crazy. I feel like he's capping. He's capping about Mr. Beast. He's capping all his information. But remember, before it was just Chris Tyson. They were talking about Chris Tyson, and now it's Jimmy himself. Like, man, shut the fuck up.
Specific people within Jimmy's inner circle, the COO and the CEO, while also allowing anyone who has like more information to kind of like step forward and to confirm a lot of the allegations that were said in the video. The first guy mentioned is some guy by the name of James Warren, who apparently may be Mr. Beast's CEO and also his cousin. Dogpack looked into him and asserts that he's being accused of domestic violence, hitting his girlfriend, beating his dog, and offering drugs and escorts to employees of Mr. Beast to
Are you sure this is the same nigga? Because if you could Google this, you could Google this person's name and find different names. Are you sure this is the right person? Because sometimes you can't trust niggas' research.
Incentivize them to work overtime. Pause, but as an aside, but as you quickly kind of start watching this third video, you start realizing that the way that it's kind of being like compiled is a little bit strange. It's not as good as the first two, and the way that he's delivering information feels to be a little bit confusing and convoluted, almost as if like there's information that's missing in the parts of this piece. It's really very hard to follow, and it doesn't follow the same scheme as this last two videos. But with the strangely like new formatted video combined with like, the word allegedly being tossed around like every 2 seconds, it kind of makes it just a little bit of a weird experience to kind of understand what's happening here. It becomes a point where it's hard to kind of like determine like what's actual speculation or what's actually what he's claiming to be true, but he's just using the word allegedly to kind of like dodge a count.
Because he's gonna be sued. Jimmy's coming for this nigga's neck. He's coming for his neck. You're gonna be sued. You're gonna get the shit slapped out of you. You're gonna have Donkey Kong stomp all over your fucking ass, nigga. Come on, bro.
Accountability when it comes like slander. Basically, and this might not even be his fault, but it feels like Dogpack is kind of chasing ghosts at the moment with this video. He claims that Mr. Beast and his team are trying to scrub and delete like information off the internet, and he's trying to connect the dots with the little dots that are left. The picture isn't 100% painted, and I'm guessing he's hoping that people with more information will come forward to help him to like, fill in the gaps of what it is that he's trying to cover. Another investigation.
Bro, there ain't no other information, bro. There is no other information. I feel like bro's been capping. He's been trying to milk this shit. He's been trying to get money off of it. There's no other information. He's a bitch ass nigga. He is lying. If there was something, I wouldn't wait this long to come out. Because right now he's cashing checks. He's cashing checks right now. And he's trying to make sure what he comes out with is straight up a fact, not alleged fact. This is my problem with niggas like Dogpack. If you ain't got the facts, nigga, you was lying, right? That was people's problems when, like, I was doing the whole Vic Mianda shit, right? I like bringing it up because it's a constant recurring thing in my channel. When I see shit, hear shit, I kind of relate to shit, right? It's kind of like that. What happened to Vic, it was fucked, right? Bro got canceled right when Dragon Ball was hitting its stride. Broly was gonna come back, and nigga might have been a full-fledged character on the series. Funimation is gone, but then it rolled in a Crunchyroll. So at the end of the day, Vic technically won, but then again, you still had to go to court because the only people that were throwing you under the bus were the people you were working with, and they just talking crazy about you. And people who came out and said stuff about him in some type of litigation, right? They came out and said, oh, this happened, and that didn't really prove anything because that's nothing. But this type of situation, if there's no facts behind this and he's just like, alleged, get the fuck out of here.
To James Warren has to do with a Ponzi scheme that he may have heavily been involved in from his previous real estate job. To be honest, I don't know too much about this James Warren section. It feels like James Warren is being looked into in order to connect the dots with this other guy who actually kind of looks like a bad dude by the name of Lukoya Hill.
Yo, bro look like he's straight. Bro look like he living a life. This man looked like he lived the life, yo.
Lukoya Hill was a former COO at Mr. Beast Companies and was accused of sexual assault at one point in time, but somehow he was later not only rehired, but also promoted within the company. This part was much more damning in my opinion compared to the James Warren case and probably needs looking into. The rehiring of Lukoya Hill combined with some of the other sketchy hires we've seen, like—
You know why they fired him? They didn't like how he was acting, but then next thing you know, they were like, he could sue us for just because he's gay. I bet Jimmy was like, we fired him, but then we had to rehire him because he knew some shit. But also he was like, I'ma sue y'all because I'm gay. And this could be seen as, bet money. They fired him, then rehired him because it could have been seen as homophobic, letting him go. And that would have got the company some serious shit. So not to look homophobic, I bet they put him back on, right? That's probably not true, but look at him.
Like that guy Delaware with a criminal history towards children turns his hiring strategies from like just a simple mistake to what looks like now a pattern. This Lukoya guy does seem a bit sus, and if his involvement is true, then it is pretty damning. Third part of the video deals with allegations from a worker who basically described the work culture as toxic and not inviting for women. This includes insanely sexist behavior from the team, talking about how they'd have sex with women when they left the office, the employee handbook not existing because the head of HR is Mr.
I think Mr. Jimmy said, what is her name? Rosanna Pansino said she got a copy, 35 pages of the employee handbook, right? So basically, Jimmy was working on an employee handbook at some point in time. But let's continue.
Mr. Beast's mom. Apparently, not only are these things actively happening with Jimmy's company, but the anonymous worker is claiming that Mr. Beast and the team have been alerted to SA and instead chose to keep it quiet and cover up the assault. Last but not least, but Dogpack brings attention to Maddie, Mr. Beast's ex, who essentially talked about how she was mistreated in her past relationship with a guy who's not Mr. Beast, but you know, it's probably Mr. Beast. I'm personally not going to go too much into this one because like when it comes to like relationships, guys, at least in my opinion, like you know how it works, right? There's like truth, her truth, and like the full truth.
That's a fact. That's a fact because take her advice or take the information for what it is. Jimmy could come out and say, I was devoted to her, but I was also grinding and I told her this. And I treated her the best way I could. But a lot of Jimmy's friends and people said, yo, his relationship was healthy. His relationship was good for him because she was good for him because he was too hyper-focused. And maybe that's his problem, right? But she felt to get him out of that, she probably had to fight tooth and nail with the content and his desire to do whatever the fuck. And she probably was done with that fighting. Because if content was gonna win over me, come on, bro.
There's obviously bias because, they are an ex, so it was a failed relationship kind of situation. And the biggest thing I think, in my opinion, is like we're looking at some serious, harsh allegations, right? When it comes to Jimmy and the people in his circle. So I don't really care too much about his, prior relationship with an ex, unless he was doing some heinous things. My guess is this is a way to kind of like, give a testament to Jimmy's character. And if his ex can basically essentially say like he's not a good dude, then people can start leaning into this Mr. Beast is a bad guy kind of narrative while also talking about everything that's happening with his.
I feel like if his ex comes out and says he's a bad person, how? To your relationship or in general, right? Because there's a huge factor and fundamental outstanding like, hey, what are you talking about, right? There's a lot to be said here from when it comes down to me and you in a relationship and how I am in that relationship towards you compared to how I'm towards the rest of the world. Because that's a one-on-one person instead of who I really am, right? Now, remember, this is somebody you with, laying with, kissing with, eating with, fucking all that shit. So she should know him, right? Right?
This company. I just feel like it's probably like it's relevant, but it's also kind of not relevant at the same time. You have to be careful when you're kind of bringing in people's personal relationships because there's always two sides to the story. Not trying to discount Maddie or her situation whatsoever. Just kind of saying like full big picture here. Like so far, this is just accusations from everybody, and Jimmy has yet to do anything except for hire freaking Harvey Specter from Suits to basically, keep Dogpack from saying more stuff. But yeah, guys, that's the long and short of the Dogpack video. Again, I encourage you guys to watch the entirety of the thing. I do think that the public sentiment about this video was that it fell a little bit short and that he's still sitting on a lot of ammunition, but also just waiting for Jimmy to respond. And while the presentation of the video might not be the best, a lot of the content was still important to understand. It's getting down to the point now where we're getting to the third video and people are wondering, what's the smoking gun? Okay.
There is no smoking gun. I feel like Dogpack is capping. He's capping underneath something. If you would have, this is my thought, right? And I'm gonna be real to y'all. Fuck videos. I would have just said it. He's a bad person if it's true. And bro, if his bro's a bad person, his boys who've been close to him, who've been tight, who've been next to him since this shit started, would have opened their mouths and said, nah, Jimmy a little fucked up in the head. He doing the most. Now, the closest people to you should be the ones speaking out. Dogpack, they said, yo, bro wasn't in the company long enough to be talking this way. Fuck is you don't know nothing. You weren't here long enough to know anything. Fuck is you talking about? Make that make sense, bro.
We're talking about all the involvements and the bad things, but what's the thing that's going to bury Jimmy if it does exist? And if he's sitting on it, why is he, waiting? Like, I mean, if the evidence is, clear enough, then and Jimmy can't refute it, then in my opinion, you just kind of drop the bomb and you kind of let it go. But I don't know, it looks like he's playing a little bit of strategy here. And also Jimmy might be getting attacked from multiple sides here, from multiple journalists as well. So the bombardment of Mr. Beast and his company has not ended. But yeah, guys,
yo, shout outs to Omni. He's the man. I love his videos. I'm going to be real here. Hold on. When it comes to the whole Mr. Beast situation, let's be real here, right? Motherfuckers is capping. This Dogpack nigga has been opening out. He's dropped like, what, 2 or 3 videos? 2 videos. 2 videos, and they all have gotten over 1 million views. And he's still out here talking about another video and dropped a video here or there, but you was allegedly. If you had evidence, if you had anything, if you had a sign of jack shit anything, you would have brought it the fuck out. You would have brought it the fuck out. Stop playing. He's capping. Bro, he's capping. I'm just going to say that for right now. Because if you had something on him, you would have brought it out. What? If you gangster, you would have, brought it the fuck out. But you pussy, he ain't got nothing. He's shooting blanks, as they would say. And it just is what it is. Unlike Alec Baldwin, who actually shot someone. But, hey, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Dogpack got it? Or is he missing? Because I honestly think if Jimmy's a bad person, those closest would have been coming out and really saying something besides and regardless of all the money, the fame, or what's happening. Think about it, right? Because Jimmy overpowering, he's pushing himself and pulling everybody. His goals might overcompass what his friends really want to do. Regardless of all the money, all the cars, all this, all that, the kids, this, and this. He's overpowering his friends. And even if his boys couldn't speak up and be like, yo, nah, bro, you wildin'. Like, we need you to chill, relax. He'd be like, yo, shut the fuck up. Don't you want this? Like, imagine he's that type of nigga. But It's what it is. We'll find out. Let me know what you think. You think Dog Pack got something left in the chamber, or is he, is he just all bark? Let it be heard in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Thank you for coming to Not Holding Back. I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Shit.
Getting on drum.
This is the last time.
You little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill.
This is the last
Some of
time.
you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
I ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All the niggas falling like autumn, nigga. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah, man.
Niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story, so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.